All right, welcome back to the Trading to the Promised Land YouTube channel. Today we're December 2nd, 2025, and this is going to be a market recap, mainly of the Nasdaq, but if you stick around till the end, there'll be a little bit of a surprise as well. So when it comes to the news, there wasn't too much to pay attention to. There was no red folder news for the US. There was some for Great Britain, as you can see here, at 5 a.m. So that's before New York opened. And during London and Asia, there wasn't too much as well going on. Mainly yellow folder and a little bit of orange. But what we see here wasn't going to affect the Nasdaq too much, in my opinion anyways. So the only thing that was somewhat noteworthy was FOMC member Bowman was to speak at 10 a.m. But again, because FOMC is so soon, it's December 10th, FOMC members can't really give an outlook or what they anticipate the outcome of the interest rates will be. So I don't think whatever he was going to say or she was going to say, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman, I'm not sure that that was going to affect price action too much today, just because they're limited in what they can say. A piece of news that is not here is Trump was taking part of a cabinet meeting at 11:15. So, we never know what Trump is going to say. So that could have affected price action a little bit. We'll see very shortly if it did or not. And then he also spoke at 2 p.m. Other than that, there wasn't really too much to pay attention here. If we go to financial juice, we see that at 8:30 there was some AMD news. So AMD backed Vulture to build $1 billion chip cluster for AI. You'll notice as we scroll up that there was a lot of news, mainly from Ukraine, Russia, the tech companies, so Nvidia, Amazon as well, and also Trump, because he was speaking twice today. So Ukraine's President Zelensky says, I'm prepared to meet Trump soon if talks yield results. There will be no easy decision to end the war in Ukraine. So there was a lot of, obviously war talks coming from the Ukraine's president. Putin, was also very vocal today. I'll actually highlight a statement that he made that was a bit concerning. You see that Nvidia's CFO had some statements as well. $5 billion in bookings for Blackwell and Rubin AI chips. There's a lot of back and forth on the AI chips. I guess there's a lot more competition now. Amazon is in the running as well. They're going to be producing chips as well, so you'll see a statement from Amazon shortly. Here is just a statement or a notification that Fed Bowman testifies before House Financial Service Committee. Again, I didn't think that that was going to affect price action too much. So the statement from Putin that was kind of concerning was not actually against Ukraine, but it's here. It says, Putin, if Europe wants to fight a war, we're ready now. So I'm not really sure what's going on between Russia and Europe, but it looks like that there's tension there again. And we all know that when there's talks about war, the market doesn't really like it. So that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on as things develop. But a lot from Putin today. When it comes to the fear and greed index, it looks like we're in fear now. Previously we were in extreme fear, so it looks like things are looking up a little bit better. That's another thing that we'll have to keep an eye out for, because obviously when there's extreme fear, a lot of people sell. If there's extreme greed, a lot of people are buying, price goes up as well. So right now we're still, not great, but better than before, it seems. So other than that, I don't think there was too much when it comes to statements. Again, here is what I was talking about for Amazon. Amazon rushes out its latest AI chips to take on Nvidia and Google. So it looks like there's now more players when it comes to AI chips, which is fine. Sometimes competition is good. Amazon rushes out its latest AI chip to take on Nvidia, Google. Amazon Cloud Unit is launching its latest artificial intelligence processor, etc., etc., etc. So now Amazon is doing AI chips as well. So we'll see how that affects the stock market, especially for Amazon. Other than that, it was Trump statements. Trump to announce proposed rollback in auto fuel. So it was just, to be honest, it was a lot of random statements from Trump on whatever he was speaking on. But I don't think it affected the market too much. But it did affect in a way, because when Trump speaks, there's usually less volatility depending on what he says. I think the institutions and the big banks are always listening to what he's saying to react accordingly. So sometimes we'll see choppy volume when Trump is speaking. One noteworthy statement, which is more to the benefit of the Americans, it says here, we are going to give refunds out of the tariffs, but also he says, I believe in the near future you won't have income tax to pay. So that was good news for the Americans, I guess, but I'm not sure that it affected the market too much. We jumped straight into the charts. We'll start with the daily. So I just want to start here because, as you see, yesterday's candle, this is Monday, December 1st, was red, so there was more bearish activity technically. But the other thing to take into consideration is that it also rejected or bounced off a daily fair value gap. So as you can see here, there's candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. The wicks don't touch, so that creates a fair value gap. And because we're on a daily chart, this is a daily fair value gap, which is a higher time frame fair value gap, which is very strong most of the time. So although it is red, we did reject or bounce out of the fair value gap. So today could have gone two ways, to be honest. It could have continued its bullish trend, because as you can see here, last week it was very bullish, right? It's all green candles. So it could have continued its bullish trend, or because we had a bearish day yesterday, today could have been bearish. Spoiler alert, if I go forward once, today was very bullish. I'm going to go down to the 4 hour before we go down to the lower time frames, and just do a little bit more analysis before we go to see what trades we could have taken. So if we look at the 4 hour, you see that this is Asia here, the red rectangle. So it started off bearish, but then we had a lot of bullish activity during Asia and London. If I show some of my markings here, we'll see that out of that bullish activity, there was obviously a 4 hour demand zone. How you draw the demand zones is you look at the red candle before the bullish activity. So this would be the red candle, and you see two very large green candles. So that means that this was a demand zone. And then, so that was something very noteworthy to put there, but there was also a 4 hour fair value gap here. If I go down to the hourly, I'm just gonna do this for now and go down to the hourly. Not only did we have the 4 hour demand, but within that we had a 1 hour demand and a 1 hour fair value gap. We also see here more clearly the midnight open. So it was a little bit lower here, which for me was a bit concerning because, as you can see, we got a lot of bullish activity. But price often likes to manipulate the midnight open, meaning that it likes to go back and touch it, and either it's going to bounce out of it or go through it. So although the bullish activity was really nice, It was something that was in the back of my mind, just because price could technically go back down. Maybe it was, a liquidity grab and then go back down, right? So here we have yesterday's high of day. So we see that, we clearly passed yesterday's high of day. So anything could happen. One thing to note, I'm sure not everybody saw that, but there was also a fair value gap, 15-minute fair value gap from November 13 above, and a 1 hour supply right here, and a 15-minute supply zone. So I think that was a target for today. You'll see, I'm just gonna go to the 15-minute, and we'll see how price action reacted to these zones. Actually, let me go back down to the 5-minute. Some people do like to trade, New York Open and just be done quickly. It's kind of a skill. It's a bit of an art. Not everybody's good at trading the open because it's usually somewhat volatile. But as you can see, as per the zone that I just drew in purple, 930 really just wicked this 5-minute demand zone and then just shot up. So it's something you always kind of want to look at open if you are trading the 930 open. If there's a demand zone nearby, because a lot of the time it'll touch the demand zone and then go the opposite direction. So if we continue, we can continue in the 15-minute actually for now. So you can see the 15-minute was really bullish. And then it continued up at 10 a.m. It touched the 15-minute fair value gap that we had here. I always look at the midline. It often reacts and reverses from a midline if it doesn't close the fair value gap completely. So here you see that it rejected it and then went back down. So this is about 10. That's the 10:15 a.m. candle, and then continued down, and then rejected this 15-minute fair value gap. So that's why I like to look at the fair value gaps. Again, I'm not really an ICT trader. Some of those concepts are a little complicated, but at least the higher time frame fair value gaps I like to look at. You'll notice that it covered this gap and then it was back into this range. Some people will try to trade the power of 3, which is another ICT concept where you have accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. But the thing that we had to note today is that there was still a 1 hour supply zone here and a 15-minute. So you have to be a little bit careful, and you'll see why shortly. As you can see here, you rejected it nicely and then went down. The nicer move today was on the downside because of this this reaction. As you can see, like there was more bearish action here than we saw bullish action here. But you could have made money either way, right? You could have made money with this 5-minute demand. You could have made money in this rejection, this 15-minute fair value gap rejection. You could have made money with this 15-minute fair value gap rejection as well. If you do break and retest, this was technically a break of the previous high of day here. It rejected it and then went back up. You could have sold from this 1 hour supply mixed with this 15-minute supply. Some people would say this is an inverse. Not really, actually. It's not really an inverse. But there was this 1 hour and 15-minute supply here, which would have been a really nice move if we caught all of it. And then at the bottom here, you'll notice that it closed this 4 hour fair value gap that we had here. So we can remove that. This is now invalid. And then it rejected off the 1 hour fair value gap that we had from earlier, from Asia, I believe. And then the 4 hour demand that we drew from Asia as well. And then started going back up. So I'll play that again. And it gave us a little bit more bullish activity as well. And then, it kind of it was still bullish, but as you can see, smaller candles, and that's normal. It is the afternoon, right? It's after 1 p.m. But also, like I showed you earlier, Trump was also speaking this afternoon. He was speaking at 11:15, but also this afternoon. So if you're pure technicals, you could have looked at supply and demand or fair value gaps. This could have also been because of Trump speaking at cabinet. It could have also been because of the tech statements, so from Amazon and then Nvidia. So there's different ways to look at the market, but there was definitely opportunities today. As you can see, Nvidia closed 0.86% up today, although it was a lot higher in the morning. Apple closed 1.09%. Tesla's down on the day, 0.21. Google's up 0.29. Amazon is up 0.23%. Microsoft is up 0.67%. And Meta is up 0.97%. So the Magnificent Seven, or the Big Seven, however you want to call them, were mostly green today, which means that Nasdaq is most likely to be green when you see all of them being green, just because, as I showed you in previous videos, the Magnificent Seven take more than 50% of the Nasdaq. So if they're red, Nasdaq is most likely going to be red. If they're green, Nasdaq is most likely to be green. So the bonus here is this. I'm going to show you the trade that I took today. Spoiler alert, it was off this midline here, and I took a buy up around here. I got out just because obviously here's a resistance zone that, you know, it struggled to go up. So I got out around here. I could have held a little bit longer, but as you saw, my fill or my TP wasn't too bad. I did leave some money off the table, but you know, shortly after it went down quite drastically. So I'll show you that right now. I'll try to speed it up for you. The aspect ratio is not the greatest, so I'll try to narrate a little bit. This should be fixed in future videos. Alright, so as you can see, I am now in the trade. I got in around 25,581, I believe. Right now the trade is going in our favor. We're up $200. So going well so far. As you can see, I put my stop loss just under the candle that I jumped into. I just wanted to keep the stop loss tight. Normally you would put it under the last low, but for today I wanted to keep the stop loss tight. So far the trade is going well. We're up $500, so far so good. Now we're up about $700. Again, this is fast forwarded, right? This is 2x, so the price action doesn't actually go that quickly in real life, but I don't want this video to be too long for you. So far we're doing well. A little bit of a pullback around this area, but we're up about $800. So we're keeping it there. We're keeping an eye on the price action, but as you can see, price is struggling in this area. So it's still going up, but it's struggling, right? So at this point I'm probably thinking that there are sellers around this area. But I'm not moving my stop loss yet. We're just going to keep an eye on it. This is just the first 5-minute candle, so we'll see what's going on. We're still up fairly well, over $800, $900 now. So it's going well. So you can see that I'm putting my mouse on the break-even button. I haven't pushed it yet, but I think at this point, because I'm seeing that price is struggling to go up, I am trying to analyze or kind of think about my next move. But we're still doing well. We're still over $800 right now. So you know, it's going. The trade is going extremely well. I can't really complain. This is only one mini on the Nasdaq. So we're just monitoring this trade. So next candle here, it's going down a little bit. I'm not too worried, because in order for it to go down, it usually has to have in order for it to go up, sometimes we want it to have a bottom wick, which, as you can see, it just formed. So I wasn't too stressed about it. I'm still getting ready to press break even, if just depending on how price action moves. We're up $900 right now, back down to 800. So it's still struggling around this area, right? Who knows if this is a 5-minute supply and then price is just going to crash? We really don't know. There was obviously statements going on, I think, at this time, but I wasn't looking at the news. I was focused on the charts. But if there was going to be a sharp move down, we'll at least have our stop loss. And as you can see, I have now the mouse on flatten all, because I am getting ready to potentially exit and just take my profit if it if it can't move higher. And there we go. Took my profit. I think we made just shy of $900 on this trade, which it's a good day. I'm not gonna complain. $900 is great. I am still kind of trying to be more patient with these trades, and also not trying to overtrade too much. I'm not sure if I'll continue to share my trades on YouTube. We'll see. But today was a good trade, so 2 out of 2. So yesterday was a green trade, and today was a green trade as well. So that's all. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you guys for another day, and God bless you all. Take care.